So the question now is, now that you've sat down at the table, we talked about that. God prepared this beautiful meal, this beautiful table in front of you. It's an abundant table. There's oil overflowing at this table. And we ate because that's what God said to do. He said, eat. Now it's time to get up and work. It's time to be a support. It's time to invest your time, talent, and your money into a place. The Philippians did just that for Paul. They invested all three. So are you going to work to support? Are you going to work to be a support? What are you going to do? Are you going to pass the test when it's offered? Because God is going to give you the provision, but you've got to be able to see this vision. You've got to be able to see where he has for you to go. And I only know that by taking this word, by studying this word, by getting into it. I've got to know what he wants for me. We talked about that too a couple of episodes ago, that he knows the plans that he has for me. I got to know those plans to whatever extent that he wants me to, so that I can follow what he says to do. I want to be obedient. Amen. So will you pass the test when it's offered? Will you pass the test when it's offered? So to answer that question, I have key takeaway number 2, which is pass the test. Well, not too easy to guess. All right, we're keeping it simple this morning. Okay, key takeaway number 2 is pass the test. And this is critical. It's so important. Why? Because provision is only for those who pass the test. That's who it's for. It's not for everybody. It's not for people whose feelings are hurt, or people who, stumbled and fell and didn't get back up again. It's not for just anybody. It's not for the person who just made the mistake randomly. This word is not activated for people who just do whatever. It is for a specific people who do a specific thing. Remember what we've talked about in the past. If you've been with me for a while, God gives a promise, but there's always a condition. There's a condition to the promise. There's always something you have to do, an action you have to take. And like I said earlier, support is a verb. It's an action you have to take. Provision is only for those who pass the test.